moving on from that, like I want to talk about the struggles with being a Sparky as well. Like, you know,
Business owner.
as a business owner.
Yeah.
Absolutely, like mental health, right? Because in the trades, it's hard work, especially being a Sparky, right? We're going into and not everyone understands what we actually go through, right? Like, you know, it's, you're getting calls non-stop. You might be in the roof space. You might be under the subfloor. You know, you might be, you know, getting installation all over yourself. You might be getting, you know, there's downward pressure. People waiting on payments. There's a lot of downward pressure, and there can be potentially rejection, right, as well. Like if you're going to jobs you know, I know you're sales trained now, but you know, no one's going to have 100% conversion rate as well, right?
Correct.
So there is going to be rejection, objections, and all of that. So, like, what are your thoughts on mental health and what people can do?
Very big on mental health and people getting in the right headspace. I think it's a silent killer, or it's not really. It's just something that
I think it
is not being discussed enough.
Yeah.
You know, I went through my struggles with mental health, and it wasn't until I started to get my mental health right is when I started to like even succeed, even before the Sparky Sales program. You know, like I was mentioning to you earlier, I had a client that was quite difficult to deal with. And it wasn't until I did my breath work right in front of her, and she was just like, "What are you doing?" And I was just like, "Just taking a breath."
Yes.
And
now it's like meditation. Like you're meditating in front of her so you didn't lose your cool.
Yes, correct.
So you had a difficult client, you didn't want to lose your cool. And
So
what would have old Vince done? Lost his shit.
Let's not say.
Let's not say. So if someone's being, and let's be honest, right? A lot of these times look, it's a very small percentage, but that's all it has to be, right? I can probably name, like out of 8,000 plus completed jobs, there's probably 10 clients that have just been unreasonable.
Oh, she had me at that stage. She had me by the balls because she had a lot of money. Like there was a lot of money she owed. So we had to like, it wasn't even, we could just be like, oh, look, you know, forget about it. Like it was a lot of money that was owed because stupid Vince was just, you know, yes, man. And it was a difficult situation. You know, it wasn't just me that she didn't pay. She didn't pay the builder. She didn't pay the plumber. She didn't pay the painter. And there was a numerous amount of trades she didn't pay.
Yep.
And yeah, so like, you know, we'd go there. It was beginning of COVID, and she's like, "Oh, well, COVID's affected me too." And it's like, yeah, but you've, you know, contracted us. You've called us to come in and do this work, and we've completed it, but now you're not paying. And that's when it got, you know, we're having that conversation, and, you know, took a deep breath and basically meditated in front of her, and she was just like shocked. And it was just, you know, because I think secretly she wanted me to lose my cool.
Yeah, so she had ammo on you to not pay you.
Yeah, and rather than me just, you know, losing my cool, I took a step back and took a deep breath, and then went, okay, look, I'm sorry you feel that way, but X and this. And, you know, she ended up paying a small amount that day. Got something out of her where no one else had luck getting any money out of her.
Wow.
So we got something out of her, but, you know, I've learnt my lesson from that. That was actually one experience that got me to help me further move into business coaching
and life coaching.
And life coaching, yeah, definitely. So yeah,
I think it's important because, you know, especially when you're speaking to the wrong people as well, people can sort of send you down like a rabbit hole as well. Like, you know, like if you're speaking to the wrong advice, like, no, you can't do that. No, that doesn't work. Or this. No, all my mates are in the industry and they've never heard you can charge that or get this and get that. And I think then the reality is there are people that are very successful as electrical business owners, right?
Yep.
And then there are people that are stuck on that hamster wheel and they're chasing payments and they're dealing with bottom feeder clients constantly. And what you find is the most premium guys that charge the most money in the trades industry, they don't work for bottom feeder clients. They've got the most premium clients.
Bottom feeder clients are going to give you the most stress.
Absolutely.
And cause you to have anxiety and panic attacks and all that sort of stuff. Those clients are not the ones that really care about you or your family or your mental health or what they're doing to you. And that's something that is quite, upsetting, but that's just certain humans.
Yeah.
And that's not a reflection on you as the tradesman
Correct.
or the business owner. That's a reflection on that person. The reflection that you have is how you handle that situation. So, don't go home and take it to your family and then be shitty when you get home. And then all of a sudden, lose it at your wife or even another client. You could leave that client and then go to someone else and then, treat that person. That everyone has different circumstances at different stages of where they are in life. So you don't want to take the energy that you get from one client and then bring it to another, because that person won't feel safe. Like you're going into people's homes. Someone has opened the door and allowed you into their safe space, and you're going to go there and disrespect it. And you might not do it even wholeheartedly, mean to do it. And you don't want to do that. So that's why, for me, one of my major things to deal with that is meditation and, learning how to breathe and relax. Because I've had it before where I've had clients that, have drove me nuts, and I go meditate and then come back.
What are some examples? Like, what would they do to sort of drive you nuts?
Or we wanted this way, or it's like, wait a minute. That's hence why I got my little voice recorder.
Yeah, you got a voice recorder.
We always ask the client before, but I've had it, where all of a sudden, we're not happy with this or whatever. And it's like, hey, wait a minute, no, you wanted it that way. And it was always builders. It was always the builders' jobs, or like the builder himself would lose it at you and be like, oh, we got to hurry up. I need you in tomorrow because
we're cheating.
Yeah, we're cheating. Yeah. Oh, the best one. We need you to hurry up and get in. And then it's like,
trench is open. Well, you didn't tell me the trench is open.
That's typical, right? And then all of a sudden you got to move things and you're stressed out. And, you're scavenging to moving mountains to get things there and so you can be there for your major client who's giving you 20 grand of work or still owes you 10 grand worth of money or 20 grand, whatever, this builder that owes you money, and you don't want to upset him.
Of course.
Because you want to, you still got money.
You don't want ammunition, and then they throw you with, well, if you can't get to here, I'll just
get
find
someone else. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they hit you with that, or they tell you to come onto site because the trench is open, and you tell them, well, send me a photo because it's not. And they just want you on site to do other stuff on the job, which
you get there and it's not open.
That's exactly my point. Yeah, that happens all the time. Like, and look, we've got members that still do construction, guys, and to really emphasize on like pricing as well, just real quick. Like, we believe you should have 3 tiers of pricing: a pricing tier for your B2C customers, a pricing tier for your B2B service work, and a pricing tier for your project work, right? Which is through builders. If you want to do that, it's a choice at the end of the day. I encourage a lot more service work because I want you guys to avoid these headaches. And if you are to do the project work and do construction, like we've got a lot of members that still love it, but they're very selective with which builders they work with. They don't work with ones that are inefficient. They don't work with ones but as a general rule, it's very like for every 10 builders, there's maybe going to be one that's going to be in that pool of construction. There'll be 1 out of 10 builders that will be a decent dude, right? And the decent ones it's not going to be as profitable as obviously service. But if people want to sort of do that work, then that's their decision. That's fine as well. But in terms of that, but like we said, like all those headaches really do come from low tier customers, right? Yeah. And they come from people that normally pay you on hourly rate, and no matter what sort of price point you're at, they're not going to be happy. And they leverage you. And there's nothing worse. Like, I got to a point when I sort of started my business, I was very construction heavy when I started. I didn't want to know mums and dads. I didn't want to know stratas and real estate because I was like, I'm doing the big jobs. Yeah. I was that dude.
You want to do skyscrapers?
Skyscrapers. That's what I said. I said I want to do skyscrapers. And got to a point where I quickly learned that those skyscrapers only work off 3% margin. And I'm like, makes zero sense.
It's a lot of capital.
A lot of capital to fund that job for 3%. Capital. You'd make more by leaving your money in the bank. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Like straight out, like 3% is just makes no sense. And the problem that we have in the industry is you've got people that work off those 3% construction margins and bring them to service. And they're just like, well, it doesn't work. It doesn't make money. It's like, guys, like I said, there's 3 tiers of pricing that you got to have in your electrical business. But yeah, like mental health is a big thing. And I really liked what you said there. So, when you do have a builder that is saying all that stuff, like the he said, she said, the email battle, stuff like that, look, the best thing to do, what would you say the best thing to do is?
Okay, number one, get rid of the builder.
Yeah.
That's number one. But
I agree. And replace them with premium, a different, like you don't have to, it's a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
It's very hard to find a good builder that respects you for one.
Yeah.
And where it's profitable. It's a unicorn, I think.
Yeah.
It is a unicorn. There could be.
They're out there. They are out there.
There could be.
But yeah, they're rare.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Not suited for me. I don't like that sort of rush, hurry up, this, that. Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's not for me or my business. Because we can't deliver the best service with that type of work.
Yep.
We promise to be somewhere, and the only reason we would not be able to make it there is in the case of an emergency.
Yeah.
So we want to deliver a premium service, and we can't do that with builders. It just doesn't mesh with our systems.
Yeah.
Our processes.
You know who your key client is.
Yes.
You know who you want to serve every day, and I respect that. So if someone comes to you with 200 apartments, are you quitting that job?
Nah. No chance.
And people listening in this would be like, that's stupid. Like, if you can make money from it, do it.
I wouldn't even do 10 apartments right now, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Same as me.
I wouldn't
do a house. I wouldn't do a duplex.
Nah.
I personally wouldn't work for any, and people would be like, that's work. And it's just like, but it's not profitable. Because when you say yes to that, your attention, your energy goes where your attention goes, right?
Yeah, I'm big on that.
If your attention is working on that low margin work, well, that's going to suck up. That's going to be such a time suck when you could be spending, your time elsewhere and be making more, so.
Well, you say yes to something, you say no to something else?
Exactly right. When you say yes to something, you say no to something else. And I'm so big on that because, sure, they're going to busy, but you're also going to be busy going broke. Like, they're going to keep you from making.
But then you're just hating what you're doing.
Yeah, man.
And coming back to it, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's a shit life.
Yeah.
I want to be happy. And the way I work best is when I'm happy. And the way that the business operates the best is when Vince, who's at the top, the director of the company, is at his best. Like, I operate at my optimal frequency is when I'm happy and and loving and caring, and that shows in my work and that reflects in my work. What I would do to help that is I meditate.
Yep.
I have a life coach.
Yep.
I do things like working out, go to the gym, play soccer with friends. Mm-hmm. I do things that make me happy. Spend time with my wife, spend time with the little dog.
Yes.
Do things that make me happy. And, one of the things that's definitely helped is meditation. That's one of my most pivotal things. If I don't work out today, I will at least at the minimum. Like, I have my non-negotiables.
Awesome.
I have, they keep me in line. And I was like, all right, so I was doing ice baths.
Yeah.
I was doing saunas. I was doing heaps. I was journaling. I was meditating. I was going to the gym. Things that put me in a zen.
Yeah.
And, and that's what taught me that mental health is the most important, because if I'm not there mentally, I've had to take mental days off, mental health days off.
Absolutely.
Some days where it's just like, hey, this is too much. I need to take a day off. And focus on myself.
Yeah.
Get myself better. And then bang, the next day, I'm back to it. You have to do that. You have to put yourself first, because if you're going to ride yourself into the ground, you are not going to be worth to your business at all. You're not going to be able to service your clients. You're not going to be able to service the business. You're not going to be able to do anything. I think there was once, I swear, man, I had an accident in the car the car was out for a couple of weeks. And that was because I wasn't in the right headspace at the time.
See?
You know what I mean? And
it all comes back to, I love what you said there, being at your best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also, business is not fun. And a lot of people are getting out of the industry, and they're getting out of the industry because they're not seeing success in their business.
Yeah.
Business is fun when you're succeeding and you're making money.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
And I know a lot of people are uncomfortable talking about money and profit and all the. I'm definitely not. I'm very comfortable with talking about money. I'm very comfortable with talking about profit, revenue, everything, right?
Well, you talking about your numbers made me join.
There you go. Yeah.
Because you were comfortable and open to do that.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe you when you first said that, I show my numbers.
Yeah.
And then I've seen them and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This is doable. We can do this.
Yeah.
And that made me feel comfortable. That made me jump into it.
Absolutely.
It made me feel safe.
Yeah, and absolutely. So it all comes back to that happy life. And it's one of those things like people can say that, oh, but at the end of the day, I don't care about money. I don't care about business. You're only saying that because you're trying to make yourself and convince yourself that you don't care about it. But
Do people actually say that to you?
All the time.
They don't care about business.
They don't care about their business and they don't care about money.
So why are they doing it? Why are they going wages?
The reason why they say that is because it makes themselves feel good. You know what I mean? Because they convince, because maybe their business isn't as successful as they want it to be. So to make them feel good, they convince themselves that they don't care about it, right? But the reality is they've given it a go and they haven't had the success that they want. And that's where we come in, right? Obviously,
but that's okay.
I agree.
That's okay. Yeah. It's okay to like not succeed at first go.
Yeah.
No, the light bulb wasn't invented on the first go.
That's right. I love that.
You know what I mean? So you have to keep going. Ask for help, dude.
Ask for help.
I would not be where I am today. I would not be the man I am today if I didn't ask for help.
Same.
You know what I mean? Like, I would hate to think the person I'd be, and like, dude, I think rock bottom would be where I would be. Because
I'm forever grateful for all my mentors,
mate. It's and I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for everything,
likewise.
Man, because it's one of those things that should not be afraid to ask for help. And if anyone is is like, oh no, you're a bitch or you're a pussy or whatever, like, don't get me wrong, dude, that's not the right person to be around you. Coming back, like, what's the saying? You want to be around people that are successful.
Absolutely.
And that, I'm not just saying this for like, to help you with Sparky Sales or anything, but like, dude, even just being on those group coaching calls with other Sparkies, and they're making big ticket sales and the way that they're dealing with everything and their clients, it's like, hey, wait a minute, I can do that. And that's helped me get to where I am in a short time. It's helped me improve as a person, because you're putting yourself in a frequency of mind with other people that want to achieve. And other people that want to do better, and it makes you want to do better. And we're keeping each other accountable. And it's like, oh, hey, you know what? Maybe you should have done it this way, or maybe you should present this. Or maybe you should.
The enemy of great.
And you know what I mean? Don't feel like you're weak in any way.
Absolutely.
Because the army does that. Like the army breaks people down to then remold them. You know what I mean? And everyone, just because you're broken doesn't, at that time you feel broken. You're not broken. You just feel broken. Just because you feel broken doesn't mean that you're broken. You know what I mean? You can rebuild who you are. Read a self-help book or journal. Seek, and if money's a problem, then seek people who can, help you get in a better mindset. There's so many things. There's podcasts. You know what I mean? Get your mental health right.
You have to.
Reach out to your doctor or do something.
Absolutely. And like you said as well, and like even addiction comes into it as well, right? Because with mental health, people, I've had conversations with people that have been drinking a lot, smoking a lot, jumping on the bags, like everything, right? A lot, and abusing substances and things like that, because their mental health is not right, and they're looking for an escape.
Oh, dude, the one thing I can tell you is that the escape that you experience from that, you might experience that while, like, I've always said, like, just, get higher, then you go 100% up. But dude, when you come down, you go 300% below.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like your part here, it's all that shit's rubbish. And look, if you want to go do it every now and then or whatever, just for a good time, props to you. But if you're doing it as an addiction, it's not good. As an escape, that's not good. And that's something that needs to be addressed. Funnily enough, my doctor thinks I'm addicted to dopamine. Because I've I've got a past, with my addiction. And I've beat that now, and it's been, many years. But
that's awesome. I love hearing. That's phenomenal to hear. Phenomenal.
But when I went to go see my doctor, because I was having trouble sleeping, so he recommended me CBD oil, and I was like, all right, great. And so he was asking me what my history and everything was, and I was like, blah blah blah. And he said, "Are you very active? You this and that?" And I said, "Mate, sometimes I can't stay still, and even on a weekend, if I'm at home and I'll just get up and start cleaning and this and that." And he says, dude, I think you're addicted to dopamine. He's like, because you get like little wins. He's like, you used to have, you used to get it from an external source. Whereas now you're getting it naturally. He's like you're still chasing that dopamine fix. And I was just like, shit, I never thought about that. And it was huge to sort of like understand that. So yeah, it was crazy to understand, but it's just weird how the body works, right? And all the mind works.
Absolutely.
And you need to have your little wins.
And when you're winning, you stay winning. You get that momentum, you stay winning. But when you're losing, you stay. It's very hard to come out of that slump unless you have a bit of help. You know what I mean?
You like literally, like, you know what's a bitch mentality is a victim mentality.
Ah, yeah.
That's, dude. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, or people might feel sorry for, but it's only temporarily.
Yep.
And where's it going to get you?
Nowhere.
It's not going to get you anywhere. I've helped people get out of situations where they're in dark times or wanted to, commit suicide. I've helped people. I've picked them up, gone to the hospital because, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but I've done that for some people. And dude, that person's grateful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Grateful to me forever. And I've always been grateful for him. I love that person to death.
Yeah.
But dude, like I couldn't imagine life now without that person just from stupid mistakes. And that's what I mean. Like you can operate and be the best person who you are.
Yep.
But like, what's the saying? If you don't deserve me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. And that's your family as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So like your family or whoever you're with, ask for help and be like, hey man, I'm not feeling well, this and that. Because if that person's not willing to help you out at your worst, they don't deserve you at your best.
Yes.
They don't deserve to be your friend.
I agree.
If they're not going to be there for you when you're at your lowest.
Yes.
So fuck that person off. You know what I mean? And surround yourself with people that actually mean something.
And want to bring you up.
Exactly right. And that's what I love about not only like in Sparky Sales, especially because people there, like, there's no jealousy in that group.
No.
Like jealousy is the worst type of evil.
Yeah.
It's the worst type of evil. It's
envy.
Envy. No, dude. Like I want everyone in that group. When I hear people doing big sales, like fucking good on you, man.
Awesome. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm happy for you.
And you can see it. Like when people are posting in the group, like some of the numbers that people are doing and sharing their numbers. Like, guys, I don't request to see anyone's numbers, right? We have those services available. If people want me to break down one-on-ones and, go through their P&L and stuff like that. But on the front foot, we don't do that. We do group coaching. And
I think it was my first big week. I had like screenshots sent to you straight away. I was like, dude, look at this. Like, you're like smashing it, man. I remember I called you once going like, dude, I'm too busy. Yeah. Like, what am I doing? Like, what's going on? But that was, it's just the programs and, and all that sort of, how do you say it? It's just the process. The process. Yeah. It's changing the game because I think a lot of people haven't been exposed to the model that we train.
Yes.
The American service model. And, when they see it and when they break it down, and when I break it down for them, they're just like, oh, it's actually, not that hard to not that hard to hit those sort of numbers. And they go, well, if you can, and I don't tell them to stop charging or working for certain clients, but organically they make that change themselves because they're like, well, why would I sub you for $100 an hour or work for bottom feeder clients at $100 an hour when I can do flat rate pricing and make, Well, it's, we see people in the group that are doing really well in the clients and you're just like, well, why am I wasting time with this guy?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, I want to be doing that.
Yeah.
You have to make a change. You have to do something.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Correct.
Nice.
Exactly right.
On that note, Vince, do you have any final statements before we wrap up? Message for all Sparkies. How about
Message
that?
for all Sparkies.
Message for all Sparkies.
So, you do not be afraid to seek for help. Mentoring and life coach. Don't be ashamed in doing that. You wouldn't look at me and think I'm the type of guy that does meditation and spiritual or anything like that. For me, like karma's a real thing. What goes around comes around.
Absolutely.
And that's why I love being grateful for people and, and boosting people up and be like, good job, because I want, like, when something for me goes right, people are the exact same way for me. So don't be afraid to ask for help, and look at ways like, doing these bottom feeder jobs are not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And I really appreciate you sharing that. And I couldn't have said it better myself. Like those people stuck in that hamster wheel, there's nothing wrong with saying asking for help, because there are people that are doing it a different way.
Correct.
Different way that you're maybe not exposed to or are unaware of. So, guys, there's nothing wrong with asking for help, both business-wise and, of course, mentally as well, because, guys, we're all in this together and we're all ready to, we're all here to lift each other up. So let's celebrate the wins, the small wins, the big wins, and let's celebrate success. So, Vince, appreciate you coming on, and
thanks
that's
for
a
having
wrap.
me, mate.
Cheers.